welcome back to Digital DNA Glasgow. My name is Alastair Cameron. I'm from Starticus, and we are in the Upstart Startup Zone. Hello, lovely to meet you.
How you doing?
Can you do an introduction of who you are and the business you work for?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Reid. I'm one of the co-founders at Ngage Technology, and we mostly focus on building kind of web tools for people with a focus on the cybersecurity side of it.
Excellent. So, talk to us about cybersecurity for starters. I'm guessing that's an industry that's ever changing. There's never a place where you feel comfortable that you're doing everything.
Yeah.
Is it a case of educational stuff that you have to learn about for yourself, or is it a case of just completely always updating the type of software you're building?
I think it's like both. Like there's the kind of cops and robbers bit of it where it's like no matter how up to speed you are, there's always people trying to take advantage of what has just been fixed. So you're always going to be chasing it a little bit, and that makes education and obviously certifications are essential, the background to actually understand the concepts and how to approach what you're doing. But definitely beyond that, it's not something where you get your degree or you get your accreditation, right, that's it, checkbox.
Bam.
It's immediately okay, now there's a new whole host of updates, a new whole host of patches and vulnerabilities.
Totally.
So it's what the team, especially my fellow co-founder Grant and stuff, he's absolutely up on that type of stuff, so he kind of leads the standard, sets the tone for it, which is good.
Well, no, so give us examples of things that obviously cyber or hacks or deep fakes. What are the type of things that we need to be looking out for, obviously, as organisations or small business or big business owners need to know about?
I think, to be honest, it's the really obvious stuff 9 times out of 10. So it's people who are clued up on it, I suppose. It's really a lot of it is through that whole thing. They say if you're in a group of people and you see a bear, you don't have to be the quickest, you just have to not be the slowest. It's don't make yourself an easy target. Unless someone really has a vendetta against you or something. 9 times out of 10, just by knowing and having someone around you that knows what you're supposed to do, the types of security measures to have in place. Everyone knows that on your internet browser, you'll have the wee lock up beside the URL you type in where it's kind of okay, I feel safe. That's really good. That's part of it. That's a really obvious part of it. There's a whole load behind there. And it's even on a personal side of things about just having an idea about who you're giving your information to and how easy you are to give it away and things like that. It's inevitable you've got to nowadays, but it's just about not being too flippant with it.
And trusting the source, I guess, as well.
Yeah, 100%, And I mean, a lot of these, a lot of it is just about good common sense, but there's a lot of it that realistically you do kind of need to be an expert to understand some of it. So there is that balance. You need to trust in the companies that have the websites and that have the platforms and the social media and all of this. You have to trust that they're doing the right things to try and keep you on top of that.
So do you build the tech from the outset? So you go and work on behalf of a client who has a brief, and then I'm guessing then with cyber and that security element with that involved from the outset as well.
So there's a total balance. A lot of the stuff that we get into, particularly with larger businesses, a lot of the stuff we help with is a kind of not necessarily crisis management per se, but it's definitely they've built something, it looked really good, people were loving it, and now they've realised there is something going on here. And that's when we come in. There are other times where it's we're looking to build something and we want to build it, and obviously the kind of with GDPR and personal data and everything being so sensitive, they will say from the outset, no, this really does have to be the front of our thinking from the start and get-go. It's always easier that way, but it's probably more common, unfortunately, that it's when something happens is when people start calling for us.
So tell us more about, are you based in Glasgow?
Yeah, so I mean, we are both, originally we were based out in Loch Lomond, but naturally just with scaling the team and bringing stuff in, it's became more of a kind of, a UK effort, but the hub, the epicenter is in Glasgow.
Excellent. Loch Lomond, obviously throwback, so we're going to Loch Lomond just after Oasis played there.
There you go,
great
place.
I can, mapping my family ancestry as well.
There you go, that is good. It's a beautiful, see when you're sitting on a laptop all day, and then you look up and there's grass and trees and water. That is the stuff.
Amazing.
That
no,
is
it is
really
beautiful.
Good switch.
It is beautiful, and I suppose obviously we've all changed over the last 2 or 3 years. Certainly, obviously, yes, I know we're all pretty much back in offices and everything, but having that balance between, in the old days, having to be based in a big city compared to now, obviously, as long as your internet is good, then happy days, you can generally work from anywhere.
it's what's really good about the stuff we do is like, you know, we've been doing this kind of everyone's doing hybrid now. We've been doing this hybrid approach, you know, being in Glasgow 2 days a week, rest of the time we'll be based out, you know, remotely. We'll have kind of drop-in days depending on the projects and the people that need to chat to each other and stuff. So it's good, it works for everyone, it makes everyone happier. The majority, when we're like scaling now and we're like bringing people in, one of the huge things it seems they're all looking for now is that freedom to be able to kind of say, okay, I don't want to have to come into the office every day. I want to be part of it. I want to do that. But I don't want to have to do it every day. It's different. So that's been like we're trying to get our heads around all that right now with the team. So.
And it's not like and some employers probably started during lockdown when they were only working from home. So it's like kind of like balancing them, if it was their first job, back into being in the workforce as well, where they actually are in an office as well. So it's quite in a way, it's quite an exciting time to be now in, because obviously there's that flexibility. So like, what next for you guys? Like, what's your plans over the next like 12, 18 months? Where do you see things going?
A huge part is like the recruitment side of it. So I mean, we've done quite well. Like we work with like scaleups and stuff like this. We're working more and more with kind of established organizations and kind of traditional kind of people with legacy systems that are kind of thinking, right, we really need to fix this stuff. That's where a lot of the space is and where we're doing the most help type thing. And so really just building up the team. We're doing like a lot of initiatives as well with like local kind of like at-risk students and you know, unemployed and things. We're trying to balance getting the right skill sets in, and then also try to give opportunity back to our local area and things like that. So there's a level of like trying to balance all of that, the recruitment, and just we're doing stuff right. We just have to do more of it now.
100%.
So it's just
and where do you find you're picking up most of your new business? Like obviously I'm guessing once you've got a client, that's hopefully the legacy piece, but where you find in the new clients that you need to work with what's working?
The way it was coming for us, it was like we keep the clients, they end up recommending someone on. With the security sensitive stuff, it's a bit different because nobody wants you to know that you've just had a security issue, so they don't want to say, oh, these guys just fixed something really rough for us, you'll go to them. So it tends to be that it's like you're kind of like a dirty little secret for some people, you know, it's like you're coming in and fixing it, but it's kind of in the background. So I think it tends for us, it's almost been the people who know people. It's like we're the people that maybe if it's like investors or if it's things like this where they're like, okay, we know a guy. Sometimes we're those guys and girls that person knows. So it's almost through the grapevine is where we seem to be getting things.
And I hadn't thought of it from that angle before at all, but if you're a scale-up and you're going to go and get investment, one of the things that an investor is going to probably look into is how protected not only is your IP or the business itself, but the structure and the infrastructure you're creating around it. And that's something that like maybe a lot of tech startups at that earlier stage don't really think about.
Yeah, because I mean, it's the same way, like when you're getting success, is when you're most likely to have something break or someone attack you. And it's because of that fast change. And like, you know, when you're scaling up or a business that, you know, obviously investors want their ROI and they want progress quick. So you are going at breakneck speed. And it's like when you're running that quick, it just takes the slightest gust of wind and you can go off your stride. So they want to take all of the worries they can possibly get away from people. They want to try and just sort that out, make sure it's solid. And even obviously sometimes coming to us and just saying, look, I know these guys, I'm looking at their business and blah, blah, blah. What do you think of them? Do they look solid? Do they talk a good game or do they walk a good game type thing? So we do stuff like that as well, and that's good, just having those people who, you know, it's building that trust. We're in a heavy trust environment with what we do, so it's just about building that trust. And, you know, once we get that chance, once we show that, then it's plain sailing, but obviously bringing new people into that, there's naturally going to be an area, you know, the fear of they don't know how to fix something that they know is quite important, you know?
So it's kind of like obviously probably half education of the clients that you want to work with, but also then obviously making sure that they're not leaving themselves short before it's too late as well.
Oh, that's a big issue because so many of them, if you know, it's very hard when they're so vulnerable, you know, literally and figuratively, a lot of the time they don't want to risk it. And so it's that moment of just showing them one quick fix that you say, look, for free, this is one thing, just check this, get your IT guys or something with this, that ask them this question and see what they say. And see when they say it, say if they thought, is this something we want to do? Is that something we want to do? How do we fix this? Give them something that's a quick, you know, a 10-minute fix. give them something like that, a few of
And the
those.
value of that could be thousands.
Yeah,
You know,
oh,
like
that's the whole
obviously
point.
saved. Yeah.
It's ridiculous. It's crazy.
So, like, someone listening into this right now, how do they reach out to you? Like, what's your website? What's your socials?
Yeah, so engagetechnology.net is our website. That's
Yep.
probably the best place to go to
Yep.
chat with us. We're also on LinkedIn, so you can follow us on there. We
Yeah.
do try, I mean, we've got a lot of like free tools and
Yeah.
tips and stuff. We also try and give out just for the basic stuff.
Yeah,
You know,
brilliant.
we try and work with charities and things as well. So we do that
Yeah.
for them, but it's good for anyone to
Yeah.
see the stuff, to test the stuff, see for themselves what results they're getting
Yeah.
back. And even if you're not coming to us, look on Google for
Yeah.
like security testing for it,
Yeah.
and you can get some free tools that it's an iceberg thing, right? They're not going to tell
Yeah.
you the full story, but even if they just give you a flavour, it might give you a direction to get started with and go from there. But yeah, Engage Technology.
I should add Engage as in Engage Technology.
Ngage
Yep.
Technology.net.
Perfect, excellent. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and
Yeah,
obviously
it's fun.
I can see a couple of founders sweating back there thinking, I think they're listening and thinking, what do we need to do? So
Yeah.
I'll let you go and chat to them. We'll be back with more Starticus chats at Digital DNA Glasgow very soon. Thank you.